On the morning of September 11, 2001, 19 men, armed with box cutters directed by a man on dialysis, in a cave fortress halfway around the world, using a satellite phone and a laptop, directed the most sophisticated penetration of the most heavily defended airspace in the world, overpowering the passengers and the military combat trained pilots on 4 commercial aircraft before flying those planes. Wildly off course for over an hour without being molested by a single fighter interceptor. These 19 hijackers, devout religious fundamentalists who like to drink alcohol, snort cocaine, and live with pink-dreamed strippers, managed to knock down 3 buildings with 2 planes in New York, while in Washington a pilot who couldn't handle a single engine. Cessna was able to fly a Saddlefight Salmon. Descending to sound and precast through. Target come exactly level with the ground, hitting the Pentagon and the budget analyst office, where POD staffers were working on the mystery of the 2 bright breeds with the importers that Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld had announced missing from the Pentagon's coffers in a press conference the day before, on September 10, 2001! Luckily, the news anchors you did it within minutes. The pundits knew within hours. The administration knew within a day. And the evidence literally fell into the FBI's lap. But for some reason, a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists demanded an investigation into the greatest attack on American soil in history. The investigation was delayed, underfunded, set up to fail. A conflict of interest and a cover-up from start to finish. It was based on testimony extracted through torture, the records of which were destroyed. It failed to mention the existence of WTC-7, Abel Danger, Drake Siebel Edmonds, OBL and the CIA, and the drills of hijacked aircraft being flown into buildings that were being simulated at the precise same time that those events were actually happening. It was lied to by the Pentagon, the CIA, the Bush administration, and asked for Bush and Cheney. Well, no one knows what they told it because they testified in secret, off the record, not under oath and behind closed doors. It didn't bother to look at who funded the attacks, because that question is of little practical significance. Still, the 9/11 Commission did brilliantly, answering all of the questions the public had, except most of the victims' family members' questions. And pin blame on all the people responsible, although no one so much as lost their job, determining the attacks were a failure of imagination, because I don't think anyone could envision flying airplanes into buildings except the Pentagon and FEMA and NORAD and the NRO. The Dia destroyed 2.5 TB of data on anal danger. But that's okay, because because it probably wasn't important. He destroyed their records on the investigation and insider trading before the attacks. But that's okay, because destroying the records of the lawsuits and investigation in CIA is just part of routine record keeping. NITS has classified the data that they use for their model of WTC7's collapse. But that's okay, because knowing how they made their model of that collapse would jeopardize public safety. The FBI has argued that any material related to their investigation of 9/11 should be kept secret from the public. But that's okay, because the FBI probably has nothing to hide. Never existed, nor is anything he had to say worthy of your attention. And if you say otherwise, you are a paranoid conspiracy theorist and deserve to be shunned by all of humanity. Likewise him, and her. Osama bin Laden lived in a cave fortress in the hills of Afghanistan, but somehow got away. And he was hiding out in Tora Bora, but somehow got away. And he lived in Abbottabad for years, taunting the most comprehensive intelligence dragnet, employing the most sophisticated technology in the history of the world for 10 years. Releasing video after video with complete impunity, before finally being found in a daring SEAL team raid which wasn't recorded on video, in which he didn't resist or use his wife as a human shield, and in which these crack special forces operatives